going to show you some of the walls around our yard. That's the one that I have shown you before. Heads off that way where I did some work. But there are other walls here. That's the nicest looking of them. Some of them actually are washing out, as I have discovered. We've had some heavy rain the past couple of days here in Missouri. Pretty solid for 2 days. And even today, it's a damp, dreary day, 30-mile-an-hour wind, so as I walk around with the camera or the phone, I may end up muting the audio later on to cut out the wind noise. I'll try talking, see what happens. But yeah, with the rain, getting a realization that I will have to wait until after spring, or at least after the rainy season, to put any kind of topsoil down and seed the lawn like I wanted to. Because it's just going to wash away. With this hillside running here down in the backyard, I come to realize that spots that I thought didn't have enough topsoil wasn't because of an oversight by previous owners. Maybe in the way the sod was laid. But when it rains, the dirt just washes downhill. And the stony hillside that I showed you next to the garden is even stonier now. I mean, looks more like a creek bed. But I'll show you that. And then the area right off the edge of the deck there where there actually is grass, but sporadic. And I couldn't figure out why the terrain was so rough right in there. It's because of all the dirt washing down the hill over the years. But I'll show you that, and I'll show you some of those other walls. So as you can see, look at how stony it is. Much more so than it was a couple of days ago. And that comes down here along behind the deck. And here's where I'm talking about really sort of rough terrain, and it's because of the dirt washing down the hill. And you come down here and you can see how it's like river silt just lying there against this other wall. One of those other walls I was going to show you. And you can see spots where it actually washes out. Big hole here, about 1 foot across and about 6 inches deep. I'm going to just step off of this wall to this one and this one. See? There's 2 other walls I was referring to. And even these tin-lined planters are filled with mud that washed down over the edge. You can see that there. And if you look along here, well, back up the hill, let's zoom in on Lily Cat. Yeah, she's having some fun. Okay, so anyway, you look up the hill, you can see how it just washes down here. Down here. I mean, look at this. This is like looking at streams running down the hillside. It's nice the way they broke up the slope with these walls and landscaping. Here's where I'm talking about one wall washing out. I thought perhaps these were laid to line the slope, but those probably, in most likelihood, were piled just like that there. Then there's another nice one, a little one over here. Almost looks like it was maybe a centerpiece for a statue or something. Just the way it curves around. But yeah, look at this dirt just washed all the way down here. There's my leaf pile. That's just from the fall and spring. It's past fall and spring. And you can see how the water just washes right down the hillside. Piled up a little bit between those trees right there. But now, when I tackle this, as I said, I'm going to have to wait till after spring, after the rain, because any topsoil I put down is just going to wash down the hill, right? And do it in stages. Got this area right in here. This is one of the first spots I noticed when we looked at the house, and it didn't even look this bad. I thought, geez, they don't have enough topsoil down. Well, it's just washing away. And I'm not so concerned about the lower area. as I am, right in here coming out the back door. You know, you walk along here to get back up there, to walk up the hill. And even this I may end up doing in stages. I'm going to have to figure out how much topsoil I'm going to need, because I can't just... first I thought I was going to rake the stones away from that upper area, but as many as are exposed now, I can rake some, but I'm going to need quite a bit of topsoil to cover it. Yeah, so a little different than the last 2 years. Last year we didn't get rain till, well, later in April and May, and then nothing during the summer to speak of, not a lot. Pretty much a drought, just as the year before, which was even drier. And here's Lily checking out one of the holes. Yeah, so what else have I been up to? Saw a movie last night, The Wind Rises, Miyazaki. It's a historical animation. It was a really great movie. It was out on a limited run when it first came out several months back, and mostly art houses, which I guess you could say is where we saw it last night, not at a big theater. Great movie. If you have a chance to see it. It's great. And I've been writing poetry. April is National Poetry Month, and it was pointed out to me that there's a blog on WordPress, National Poetry Writing Month, NAPOWRIMO.net, and they're encouraging people to write a poem a day. So I started up a blog, an actual blog. Yeah, me, a blog. Of course, it's just poems, but I have done one for the first 3 days, one each day. And I don't have anything yet, being April 4th, but I hope to come up with something. I've been looking at my photos, looking for inspiration. In fact, that's where my last one came from one of my photos. So, National Poetry Writing Month. Write a poem a day. You can do it. Well, right now I'm out of that 30-mile-an-hour wind, but I have to walk back through it to get up to the house, or up to the other door. So, that's what I'm going to do. Ciao, folks. Vlog on.